struggle with them, but just let me know when you've added your audio and we shall commence.
Yeah, I'm all up.
Alright, no worries. I'm going to have to load this on my phone. I'll get back to it in a minute. Hello and welcome back to SLR for Season 5 and the very first race of SLR's Elite Division, formerly known as Division 1. We are here once again at Albert Park for the fourth and final time of the race weekend for the Elite Division race, and your commentators for this race is myself as Riggs once again, and I'm being joined by a new friend in the commentary box in the name of SLR Barlow.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you, Riggs. Thank you for filling in. And yeah, let's hopefully the Elite gives us a great ending to what has been a great start off for the weekend. Really, yeah, it's been an amazing for all Div 1, Div 2 and Div 3. Had a great weekend, and let's finish it off with the Elites, eh?
Definitely. We've had, honestly, this weekend, if you've not seen any of the races, I actively encourage you right now to go back once we're done here to watch the races in Division 1, 2 and 3. You'll definitely not be disappointed because they have just been so full of carnage, chaos, pure entertainment for us as commentators and for you as a spectator as well. I was on the commentary for Division 3 last night, and I was on the commentary with Mercs, and honestly there was times where we just had no idea how to go about our jobs because we couldn't keep up with everything that was happening. Like, we've got 29 laps of Melbourne to look forward to for Elite, but last night was just 29 laps of pure carnage. It was a proper race of attrition, and that is definitely one I recommend going back to watch because it's up there with one of the best SLR Division 3 races I've saw, and I'm hoping that in the nicest way possible we don't have as much carnage in the Elite. So, Barlow,
Hello.
what is your thoughts on the circuit? Is it a favourite of yours, or is this just a circuit you just want to sweep under the rug?
I absolutely love it. I've got to admit, it's one of them tracks where I really do like. I don't know if anybody caught the side pod, but it was one of them when I was up there with above the Div 1s, so it was quite nice to be up there and racing with them. As a Div 2 driver myself, but yeah, it's one of them tracks. I just think everything's just stunning, really. Just every little bit of the lap is just a great lap. I know there's a few drivers who don't like it, and it's not their particular track, but yeah, I was very annoyed that I couldn't actually be part of it myself last night at 6 o'clock, to be fair, because I think I had a good chance, but you never know, do you? You know, we won't find out no more, unfortunately.
That's one we're just going to have to be left to ponder with. But
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm in like league racing, I kind of feel that same pain. Like, if I'm missing a circuit that I very much enjoy racing, I will most definitely be a bit heartbroken by it. Melbourne was the same as me. I really enjoy the circuit as well, and it's a bit of a circuit. It's a bit of a Marmite circuit. You've got some people that have a preference for it, but you've got like just as many people just saying, "Nah, this isn't for me. I just want this race over and done with." I was talking with this exact same question with Merckx last night, and he said his season starts in Bahrain, so he's not really coming in with too much confidence into this race. He is in the Red Bull for this season, and he is 12th at the minute. Like, nobody's put a time in yet, as we're speaking just now. But Merckx had already said that his confidence is kind of like, well, he didn't really say his confidence was low, but with the way he was kind of talking about the circuit, it kind of seems like he's not got full belief in himself to do well here.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to SLR Liam, and he was exactly the same. We've just had Freeman put in a 19.8, so we're already into the 19s, and we've only got one lap in. So, as you can tell, these times are going to be unreal at this track already. It's very nice from SLR Freeman there. But yeah, no, I spoke to SLR Liam, who's a Div 1, and he struggled for the whole of last week to try and actually get some race pace and get some even just qualifying pace as well for the track, and he didn't have the best race on Friday night. He got into a little bit of a collision within the first couple of laps. I think the fourth lap, I think it was, and that was it. Then he was just hanging on at the back of the pack for the whole race, but he kept there and he finished the race at the end of the day. So, you know, it's not too bad, but for some people it's just really not their track. Because it's just let's put it one way, it's just chicanes, isn't it? Let's be honest, Riggs, it's just chicanes.
Oh, definitely. Let's not beat about the bush there. And in the topic of chicanes, actually, we've got the quick left-right of 11 and 12. It's been dubbed the Morgan Masher. I honestly have no idea why, but that is a name that I've seen thrown about both in the Twitch and Discord chats respectively.
Yeah, Morgan doesn't like that corner whatsoever. It definitely is the Morgan Masher corner, definitely. Yeah, I'll agree on that one.
Definitely, it's a really difficult piece of the circuit to get right. It's so, I mean, in the last game, I thought it was intensely difficult. I think with the way that they've configured the circuit for the F1 2020 game, it feels easier to get right, but it still also feels just as easy to get it wrong. And it's always that exit curb on 12.
Definitely, I think it's if you. I think it's more the left curb, isn't it? It's your full exit. As soon as you knacker up on that right curve and take too much, and you bring yourself out too wide, then you're trying to fight the car in, and the car doesn't want to go in. The car just wants to shoot off, and it's like trying to steer a motorcycle around there. It's just not going to happen. I think that's the best way to describe it, isn't it? Really, just doesn't want to stay where it wants to.
It's like the car doesn't feel like it really, like when you're steering, it's just not as responsive as the drivers really want it to be, and I feel like that's going to be quite key in terms of how the drivers actually set up the car as well, because you're wanting a response from the steering wheel to the front axles to actually go through that at some speed, because it's a really important part of the qualifying lap.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, race as well.
It can be a decider on the qualifying lap, though. You can gain 2, 3, 4 tenths just on them 2 corners alone, but then you can also lose it, and that's the big issue. And it's not just losing them tenths. Sometimes you can actually invalidate your lap very easily coming onto that right turn. We've actually just got Zydrad, who's just set the fastest sector 2. Can I just add on that one? Racing aboard with a Haas.
Just jumped on board.
Yeah, he's doing very well.
And looking at the Haas team, Zydrad and Freeman, if you're going to take anything for pre-season testing at the United States just a week ago, they dominated the session. It felt very reminiscent of, I don't know how long a Formula 1 fan you have been, but it was like, it reminded me a lot of Singapore 2010 when it was Alonso and Vettel just battling out front for the full race, pitted at the same time.
Track and what a race.
Vettel just chased. Oh, and Merckx is already retired. Sorry, just to deflect the conversation there, and it's the Morgan Masher that's got him.
It's the Morgan Masher who's got him. He's done exactly what we said, and he's gone in. Yeah, way too hard, and he's hit the right barrier, and it's took him straight out. And there's a big one, really. Merckx, he's no slouch. He's good, but is he going to be good enough to get through the pack? He's got a good car for it.
Definitely, it'll really just come down to how he set up that car as well. And we didn't really follow if that was his. I mean, I'm assuming that was his flying lap as well.
Yeah, it was his flying lap.
Assuming as well, it was just a matter of the car just no biting in the front end of the car, and the car's just drifted off to the exit of 12, and it's just got a complete wobble on the curbs. He's maybe put a wee bit too much throttle in, and the next thing he knows, he's straight to the scene of the accident as well, and that's him out of qualifying. It's so easy just to get it wrong there, Barlow. It really is.
It's stupidly easy.
And another corner that I feel the drivers will have a bit of. I feel like another part of the circuit which drivers I saw getting wrong in last night's race was turn 5. It seems just like a very easy flat right, but if you just kiss the curb on the inside, that curb is no very friendly in response to that.
It's quite big though, to be fair. The curb's not exactly a small curb, is it? Let's be honest. It's quite a big curb to hit and go over. Just results, so I think 5. Can I just add as well? Freeman has set some really early pace in. He's just gone out again, and he's set a 19.5. He's setting some really quick early pace. As Mixie goes
coming out the gate.
Excuse me. Mixie just puts his car second. Ham puts his car into 6th.
And Crispy's just coming across the line to take 4th, so Crispy as well making debut in the top tier, formerly in the Division 2, which is now rebranded as the Division 1. and he's in the elite, which was formerly Division 1. It's a bit confusing, but you know what I mean. Crispy.
We've got Ryan Jones coming round Prost into the final straight. Where does it put Ryan Jones straight up into third, into the 19.8s, very comfortable. It's 4 cars now into the 19s.
And 4 drivers setting early pace, and as I want to kind of touch back on there, Freeman as well, out the gate quite early, 3/10 faster than Midzi in second place. So Freeman really kind of laying down the gauntlet at this early stage. His teammate Zydrad sitting 7th as well. Both Hasses sitting very pretty at this stage in the race, the qualifying, sorry. We have just over 7 minutes remaining, and if we can see anybody on a lap, we'll do a on board with them. Is there anybody?
We've actually got Evoke just coming round the last corner to set another flying lap for himself. Coming straight past now, he now starts his flyer. Coming through the first corner onto the second, nicely. Through into the DRS. Looking very smooth to be coming down into the third corner. Beautiful onto the throttle, round to fourth. Kept it out wide, coming round, and this is the tricky corner fifth. He keeps it very nice onto the outside a little bit. It's not too bad, he's up on his time just about. Keeps it very wide. Fortunate there not to evoke his lap. No pun intended. He's coming round into this was a corner. I like this corner, but it just sets you up for a very awkward DS. Comes round, he keeps it very nice. Oh, just about keeps onto there. He gives a bit of a back wheel twitch, but he's still okay at the moment. He's coming round, final sector. Only a couple more to go. Coming round, last 2 corners, we've got Senna. And then we've got Senna, then Prost. Round, beautiful round Senna there. Try and keep it as flat out as you can round Prost. Down the last straight. And he puts his car up in... He's not moved, he's down just about on his time. He won't be happy with that. Just needs to improve a little bit.
Sitting on board the lap there was a few times where I saw him just no really clipping the apex as much as he would have liked to there. He was a bit cautious through turn 5, I felt, and turn 7 as well. That was kind of an early stage for me where his lap wasn't really going to, well, his first sector time wasn't really going to look too grand, but
yeah, and then the S's
didn't
do anything. Yeah, the S's didn't do him any benefit, did he, with the twitch on the back end of the car.
Oh, definitely, that's a few tenths lost right there, and then the car, I mean, brilliant driver skill to try and correct the car into the slide and stop himself onto the wall, but definitely know what he's looking for down in 18th, and it's a second that separates first from 18th as well, so it just shows how close, and Jamham retiring on a 19th.
Yeah, Jamham thinking he's comfortable in the 19s. Very, very close to be fair though. It's all that there's only 4 tenths that cover him all the way down to 15th, so there's not a lot in it. 4 tenths is not a lot, but should be enough to get you through to Q2. But we'll wait and see on that one. We can't really say much on there, seeing as he has 5 drivers from 5th to 9th, which are on 20.0s. There is nothing in them.
Definitely no, you couldn't split them with a cigarette paper, as what James Allen used to like to say back in the early 2000s when he was the commentator alongside Martin Brundle. That was one particular phrase that's been stuck in my head since. But Freeman's retiring on a 19.5. I feel Freeman is definitely safe, as is Jika. Maybe like a 120. I'd say a 122, 121 would be the cutoff.
Yeah, I think obviously you've got Ghost and Paraquix who are looking like they might just be safe. But you just don't know, you know, you've got Beast, you've got Darnell, Evoke, Motion, they're all faster. They all can go faster, it's just if they can get that lap out there. Because at the moment, they're just struggling to get that 1 lap. And so we have got Motion, it's just come through sector 1, down on his time by 4 tenths. So he's going to be backing off now.
And I've been looking through the chat as well, and I've seen a message from Jamham as well saying it's going to be dry all the way through, so there's no going to be any threat of rain for this race. There has been rain in Division 2, and that's the only time we've saw some bad weather spice up the action on race day. But Jamham, sorry, apologies there, he said in the chat his motion hazard does go too wide there on 12. Jamham says it's going to be dry all the way through, so no threat of rain to be had.
It's not too bad then, really.
Definitely not. It's going to be a blessing for the drivers, I would like to think.
Just to put in, Beast has actually just set the fastest sector 2. He's just set a purple. He is up on his time at the moment to bring him out of the bottom 5 in his bright red Ferrari. Coming around the last 2 corners, coming around Senna and Prost. See what he can do, see how far he's going to boost himself up. It's a great last corner, full throttle. And across the line, he goes up to 11th. Up to 11th. We have said the cut-off line is 20.2. Let's see if it is going to be. Because we have got a few drivers on faster laps.
Well, I've just been looking through the chat as well, Barlow. I've been seeing that we've got some support for Crispy in the form of Ranga. Ranga's been cheering Crispy on. Baggy Fan says go on Jam and Sa. Jam is retired in 4th. Sa is sitting 12th at the moment. Southerners has asked Freeman to calm down with those lap times. Freeman really kind of shown us what he's made of in the very early stages of the race. Merckx has rebranded the Morgan Masher to the Merckx Masher, and I feel that's quite fitting as well, considering what we've just saw. And Jamham said he's a bit worried. I mean, I think a 19.9 is...
the 99 is good, but the only problem is at the moment safe. We have got Darnell, who's 5 tenths up on his time. Darnell is flying, he's down in 17th at the moment. If he can keep it, go round Senna, the area's okay there. One more, go around Prost. He's kept it safe. It looks like he's going to be out of the bottom 5 with this lap, which is pushing Bezza down. It's up to 2nd. It's an absolute stunning lap from Darnell. What a lap.
Beautiful lap there for the 2019 Mercedes is what it's been called of late as well, but yeah, Darnell goes from the bottom 5 to the top 5. And
yeah.
That is definitely going to be a good sign of comfort there for the Racing Point driver there. Splitting I'd say on the front row, well, for Q1 anyway. Yellow flags are out of turn. I think that's just for a slow moving.
Just a slow driver there, yeah.
Wait,
watching him coming across the line in the bottom 5. Is he going to boost himself out of it? He's not. Can he go again? Has he got one more lap in there? He's down in 16th at the moment, which is a bit of a shock, I'd say. He's been looking good on his time trials and stuff. Good pace.
Definitely would have seen. I definitely would have thought I would have seen better there, but he's not really kind of putting the hammer down in that McLaren to try and improve the time. So I feel 16th is the best he can do. He's only 19,000th of a second away from safety from Q1, and it just shows just how close. I'm looking at the time just now, and it just how close this is in Q1. This is only Q1, Barlow.
This is only Q1, and it's so close. It's like Crazed Bear here at the moment. I'm riding above with him. He's trying to get himself out for above 18th, but he is 2 tenths down on his time. So I'm going to change to Bezza, who is on his fast lap at the moment, and see what he's got. But we have got. Oh, there we go. Motion Hazard is in the pit, so he's going 19th from Crazed Bear. As well, that's it. He's invalidated. So the only person who can get out and put Paraquix into the bottom 5 is Bezza. Can he do any better? Because at the moment we have got already one Red Bull out, and now we both have the Mercedes. They are out. They're gone. 18th, 19th. Oh, but yeah, Bezza's doing better. He's a 10th up on his time at the moment, which will just about bring him up into 15th, so he's there or thereabouts.
It'll just be a matter of keeping the final sector clean as he comes through turn
These 2 will go down now because Paraquix has actually just set his fastest time. So, this is too close. Bez around the final corner. He needs nearly 2 tenths to come up. He needs a tenth and a half. Can he get it? Is he going to move anyway? He has. He's gone up to 9th, and he brings UK Beast Assassin down. Wow, UK Beast Assassin was the champion of Division 2 last season, and he is out of He was out in Q1, down into 16th. Wow, that's a bit of a shock. That is a bit of a shock. Evokes, Crazed Bear, Motion Hazard, and Merckx, who didn't actually get a lap in. Wow, bit of entertainment.
Definitely, and I'm sitting on board with B Dunk as he brings his racing point back to the pits. Very lucky to get through there because he had his lap invalidated there as well. Only makes it through by 500ths of a second from Beast Assassin. And Beast Assassin, Evoque, Crazed Bear, Motion Hazard, the two Mercedes. The two Mercedes, a Ferrari, Red Bull and a McLaren have been eliminated from Q1. And that's not something that you really say every day.
No,
either in
definitely not.
SLR or in real life. But it is Beast Assassin, Evoque, Crazed Bear, Motion Hazard and Mercs being eliminated from Q1, and then there was only 15 as we are going to wait for the timer to go down to 0 before we commence with Q2. I'll just sit on board with Bezos considering that his car is still out on track. So if there is one... I mean, Freeman did set really early pace in that session, Barlow, but we did see 8 other drivers there with him, joining them in the 119s as well. So
9 drivers. Beza got into the 19s himself. There's 9.
Yep, just 9 drivers there. I'm sitting here, I'm
mad.
Just basic arithmetic has went right out the window there, but it is 9 in the 119s. If there's one, I mean, I'm kind of comparing Zydrad to his performance in pre-season, and I definitely don't feel that's his potential pace. I don't
think it's his quickest
to watch.
I think he's got some more pace in there. Yeah, I think he's just. I think he's giving all the boys a little bit of the slip at the moment. I'll be completely honest with you. He's a very fast driver, and he will be up there this season without any doubt.
Definitely. Maybe Australia is just one of the tracks, so he just didn't get a clean lap in. But I'll not sit here and list off a list of excuses for him there, but I definitely do feel Zydrad, who is making his full-time debut in SLR for Season 5 as Elite Division. He did do exceptionally well in America with himself and Freeman taking the top praise from that race. So I definitely do feel he can be one to watch throughout the course of the season as well. I feel, judging by that, I definitely feel the usual suspects from last season as well. You've got the reigning champion in Jamham, you've got the SLR's MVP and his brother Ham. You've got Midze there as well, who's exceptionally quick as Freeman, who is, I'll mention, he's gone cold turkey in terms of the assists. He's all on his own now from the game, kind of cutting all the assists off. So he's on the same level as like Ham Jam, Midze. I'm trying to think who else. Jamham, they all don't use assists.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going to try and go in it on his own for this season, and definitely shows a lot of promise with that time in Q1, fastest of anybody by 3/10, and he's only going to get quicker as the track rubbers in.
He is. He's only going to get quicker and quicker. He just. I'd love to see an 18 in Q3. I would love to. It'd be amazing. But you never know. You know, they might have it in them yet. They might have it in them. But we'll wait and see on that one. As we've got Ham, who is the first one on the track. Nobody even looking like they're coming out as yet.
Ham Jam's probably just deciding to get a wee, but a bit a better feel for the track as well. There is like a lot of, like, you look at the layout at Albert Park, Barlow, and it just looks like a very track in. It just looks like a track in simple nature, but it's a track that has a lot of demons about it as well. Obviously talking about the quick 11-12 chicane, even getting turn 13 is a bit of a hassle to get right if you mess up your braking, as is turn 3. I feel like turn 3, and I say this to Mercs in the commentary as well, like when racing, see the small straight between turn 3 and turn 4 at the car park section, I feel like that bit of the track's got the least amount of grip to it. Like, there's just no grip coming out of turn 3.
Not a much, is there? There's definitely not a much grip there at all. But then I suppose, obviously, there is more grip comes to it when, obviously, drivers go on it more and more. You seem to get more grip, even though you lose grip within the tyres. It just doesn't, it is one of them, it doesn't make sense, does it? Because the more you race it with the 20 drivers, the more grip you start getting, even though the tyre grip's wearing. But like you say, at the start of the race and qualifying, it's not the easiest to swing it round him, really. You got to battle the wheel, and yeah, if you can get round it clean, you're laughing.
That's exactly it. And when you come out of the exit of turn 3, turn 4 is literally just there staring you in the face. You have to, like, you have very little response time for turn 4. It's literally right there, right in front of you when you're coming through that section. And it's like the kind of quick change of direction for the car as well, and it doesn't really, like, if you're on a full tank of fuel, then if you try that a bit too aggressively in the early stages of the race with the tyres on at their optimum, the fuel load's still excessively high, then you can expect to have an experience of just tank slapping through there, and just having a general lack of grip and traction. I'm on board with Hamjam. He will be the first person to put in an official lap time in Q2 in the Renault, as he is coming through turn 13. The lap has looked fairly clean and quick so far as he comes through 14. Nice bit of carbon on the exit there into Senna, down into second gear, and he clips the carbon on the inside once. He gets a bit of a wheel slide on there from the rears, but doesn't seem to take too much damage to his lap time. Up to the line, it'll be the first time on the board, and it looks to be a 1:19.9.
9. I've actually got Freeman next to come. He has looked very smooth and very fast.
We'll have
Going
to
round
see
Senna.
We'll see
Going
where
round
this
Prost
puts him
down
as he
onto the
comes
final
through.
straight. Nice and clean there again. He goes faster, he goes with exactly the same time, nearly enough, as his Q1. I think again he might just be safe on this one, Riggs. I think he might just be safe again.
Definitely Freeman just no letting up with that pace so far, but he's definitely been on the button as we see Lewis Racer going with a 120.6, and with the cut-off time from the last being a 120.1, I definitely feel like you need a 19 to get through to Q3 if you're wanting a chance of pole position and the best seat in the house.
Yeah, I'm going to say so myself. It's going to be very, very close.
And if we can find anybody else on a lap, we will jump on
Darnell
board
is on a fast lap at the moment.
Oh, we've got Darnell in the racing point through turn 5, under the trees, into the first sector delta time. It's 26.5, and it lights up purple on the map on the right hand side there, but we'll just have to see where that puts him come the end of the lap. If it's fairly clean as he slows the car down for turn 8 just after the 100 metre board, you want to step braking for that. You can clip the sausage curb on the inside of turn 8 because it does actually help you. It's one of the sausage curbs that are actually one of the few that are your friends, as we see yellows at turn 13 for an Alpha Tauri going excessively slow there as Darnell is navigating away through the Morgan Masher. It seems to be Ryan. Ryan will need to be wary of Darnell as he is just coming through 13 just now, and he is on a flying lap. I didn't see what his time was through the Delta for Sector 2 and Sector 3 as the yellow flags wave in the third sector for Ryan Jones. His slow Alpha Tauri. Does they seem to be getting in the way of Darnell's lap time? No, as he exits the final turn up to the line. It looks to be a healthy lap. Darnell.
It is.
Darnell there's
yes.
a 120.0.
Again, though, it's not as fast as it was before. He was in the 19.7s last time. It just depends on if he, he is faster, but is he going to have to be faster?
I was sitting there. I was about to call you Darnell. Darnell's putting in a qualifying lap, and tell me about it in the commentary box. He's doing 2 jobs at once. I thought Darnell was sitting alongside me.
We've actually got Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones has actually just set the fastest Sector 1 by over 2 tenths. On that one, he is up on what Darnell's just put. So he's flying. Going through Sector 2. 48.0 we got there. Very quick.
The drivers are really just giving it their all, and they really want to impress. I've got a small connection issue there with Ryan. It just seems to be his Alpha Tauri just seems to be like misplacing itself from the middle of my screen there. I think there's a small connection issue, but it has mended itself, and hopefully this will see Ryan put a time on the board. It looks to be a 9.8.
Oh wow, faster than Ham.
And Ryan Jones is another driver that I've also raced with in other leagues as well, and I've just seen his rapid improvement, and he really does warrant a place at SLR's top table with the improvements he's made. And there was times where Ryan Jones was just fairly new to the league that I was at. His pace was average. I'll not be too condescending on him, but I'm not being nasty to him anyway. Like, I'm complimenting his improvement, and he's just proven over time and putting in the practice, putting in the effort, the time, and just committing himself to SLR and to other racing leagues as well. And just the game in general has just shown that how much he's improved. And he's sitting here beating like Ham Jam.
Wow,
Midzi,
Ghost Colt.
Jam
Wow.
Ham,
That is one
and
very
Ghost Colt
fast
as
lap
well.
there.
And Ghost Colt as well as a driver.
Wow,
He
Mitz has
really
just put a
done well.
26.1 in for the Sector 1. That is mega fast.
Just jumped on board with Midzi there, and his car was hidden behind the smoke from the brakes there into turn 8. But we'll sit on board with Midzi as he comes through the Morgan Masher. Purple second sector as well, with a 47.8. So Midzi really is on a fly at this stage, Barlow. He's only got the last sector left to go, and let's quick and clean. And this potentially put Midzi top of the timing charts here as he goes through 13. He's only got 3 corners left in the names of Senna and Prost, 2 Formula 1 greats, and arguably the most iconic Formula 1 rivalry that the sport has seen in its history. But we will disregard that for a quick moment as we see Midzi coming up to the line with a 19.6, only second fastest.
Wow.
I say only second fastest, that's still
So it's the
impressive,
third
that's still
sector at the
amazing.
moment where Freeman is absolutely flying. So if he can pick up the pace in Sector 1 and Sector 2, I can see Freeman getting faster than the 19.5. Because it's only the third sector where everybody seems to be losing the pace. And we have actually got Jam, who is on the flying lap now, so let's see what Jam can do. And Rizal is just behind him on his hot lap, so keep an eye on both of them too.
We'll jump on board. Jamham's deciding to switch allegiances from the Renault to the Williams. And he is coming for the first sector, 26.4. It's 3 tenths off the fastest we saw there from Midzi on the last lap there, but it's still a healthy time for sector 1.
Yeah, Rizal's just sat at the exact same pace in that one as well.
Jamham was looking up a brake there into turn 8 as a puff of smoke just came off the brakes and the wheels there. Jamham goes purple second sector though, although it's only a 48.0, so I don't know if that's just a
wow, and a
personal best or
47.9 here from Rizal. So they're going exactly the same pace nearly. Wow.
Rizal and Jamham basically just copying each other for pace at this stage. Jamham will be the first of the two to cross the line and put in a time. They're the only 2 drivers yet to put in a time this session, but we will see some times being put on the board by them both. Jamham's up to the line, it's a 19.7, puts him 4th fastest. We'll quickly jump to Rizal,
coming down the final straight, and he puts his car up into a 19.86. Wow, what a great lap. What a great lap from both of them there. You know, they both... It really is that Sector 3 for literally all the drivers, except Freeman. So...
Freeman... I think Freeman has either set his car up to complement the 3rd sector that bit more and somehow has they experienced a compromise through sectors 1 and 2. He's no compromised his lap time anywhere else. Like, sector 3 just seems to be where it's at. He might just have the front wing angle a bit tighter or a bit looser or whatever, or how he set up that car. But Freeman is definitely finding at least a 10 for 2 over everybody else, and that's what's winning them these qualifying times. A 19.5. I mean, it's a 19.5 is all I've seen him set. He has still to improve, but and with the track just rubbing in as well, Barlow, track is always going to get quicker. So we can so an 18 is probably a realistic goal for Freeman if he can hook it up, and the car's just going to be at its best.
As we've got our first retirement of the day, which is Mitzi in second, feeling comfortable, and I think he should be, to be fair. As I am just riding on board with Paraquix, but at the moment, he just can't put it together. He's got a 27.0, he is 1.7 seconds up on his time at the moment, but it still isn't anywhere near faster to get up to P14, to be honest. He needs to get a lot faster. But we will wait and see. As he just goes out and apparently it's... Oh no, he's invalidated, he's invalidated. Wow. John up on mine, he was a fastest sector too.
And it was immediately the purple we saw immediately turned to red as he invalidated at turn 12. One driver I noticed there, Barlow, was Zydrad, was actually chancing his arm on the mediums, and he had quickly changed to the softs, and he's put himself 5th fastest way at 19.7 as well, so he's going to put himself through, and Jamham's retired, so I feel like the cut-off is still going to be a 19. I feel like you need to get a 19 to get through.
Yeah, at the moment the top
drivers
10,
get quicker.
well, the top 8 are on 19.9s. So there's only 2 drivers left to get in, and there's only 3 drivers on the 20.0. So they've got a bit of work to do yet. There's still a bit of work to do for 4 drivers out there, and there's only 2 minutes to go. So it's not looking great for a lot of drivers. Where Bidung has just set out. Oh well, I think he's going round again. I think we're 2.2 seconds slower in the first sector.
Oh, Barlow, I'm on board. Wait, oh, there's a yellow flag there for a Williams. I think that's...
Yeah, it was Sarr. I think he
gone
just
slower
pulled aside.
But it's Darnell. He's up by
Yes.
2/10 a second through sector 1 as well, so he's definitely improving on his pace from the 120.7 that he set earlier in the session. He is coming up to 11 and 12. This is a very quick left-right chicane.
Still
Purple
2 up.
second sector as well. And he's
Oh, is
cut
it
the
validated?
top 12.
Wow. And he's not... Has he got any fuel in that to get round another lap? Is he gonna... Wow. Because at the moment he's in 11th. But will it benefit him? Will it not? You know, it's fresh tyres. But he'd love to be battling up there in the top 10, let's be honest. As we all would.
Oh,
Wow.
definitely. All the drivers are here to win.
As a Dali he is, he's going out, so he must have enough fuel in there. He is going out to set out a faster lap. There's Ghost Cult, so that's the top 4 now that has retired.
And
So we've actually
Wait,
got
what?
Darnell followed by Sarr, who both are in the bottom.
and we have seen Rizelm retire from 8th as well. So Rizelm, a 19.8, he thinks that's safe. I mean, I don't know. I think if the drivers find the time, Darnell was in course for a 19.8. And if Sa and Bezos can fin that, or B-Dunk and Paraquix can fin that, then Rizelm might have jumped the gun.
And we
in
have
terms
got
of his
Ham going
retirement
faster
there.
at the moment. He is purple sector 2. There seems to be a lot of these purple sector 2s. And we've also got Lewis Racer, so they're both are out at the moment, seeing as it's faster to go from behind. It's going to be a close one. Going to be a very, very close one.
And I've just decided to stay on board with Darnell, Barlow, and
He
Darnell
doesn't improve.
nailed
It doesn't
12.
improve. Wow, he stays
Oh, and Hamjam.
9th.
The checkered
got-
flags out, and Hamjam can be at risk of being eliminated from the session. Darnell is improving
B-Dunk.
on his
Oh wow,
lap
B-Dunk
as he
stuck
goes
Lewis
on.
out of there. B-Dunk stuck Lewis out.
On. And we're going to start seeing a bit of domino effect here if the drivers can keep their laps clean as they come up to the line. Darnell's run out of fuel, and he's run out of fuel. Barlow on the stretch, he's run out.
Oh.
Oh,
And there's no improvement from
Darnell.
Sarr, he still stays there. We've got Ben coming round the final corner next. Oh, and we've actually got, if Beza comes out of here, we've got Ham, who will finish 11th, because Lewis has just gone faster into a P8, which takes B-Dunk down again. So, Beza final corner, he comes through. Where does he get? Didn't come up, he got 8th, so he has, wow! Wow, he has took Ham out in Q2. Wow, that is a shock. Wow. I don't know what to say.
oh. It's not even 3/10 a second of Freeman's time, and that's not enough for safety for Hamjam as he's out of Q2. Same as B-Dunk, Darnell, who was improving and a fuel at the most painful of times, right on the final stretch. Sa couldn't improve on his time as Paraquix improved over time, but in the end up it's 15 fastest for the Dutch man.
That is crazy.
Dutch.
In Q2, having the drivers who've go out, but I think it's always going to be amazing because there's so many great drivers in this elite this year. No matter who goes out, it's going to be a shock. I think that's, yeah. But Hamjam out in Q2 is just speechless. Let's be completely honest. He was fighting last year. It come all the way down to the last 2 races with his brother, and he's out in Q2 on the first race in Australia. Wow.
It's definitely not where you want to be at the early stages of the season. You kind of want to make your mark as early as possible and get the best possible start. But I mean, for the race, 11th is the first of the runners to get a fresh choice of tyre, so he'll have that perk at least. But everybody here will be will be starting the race on the soft tyres that they set their queue times on. And everybody is rushing to get out on track, try and get an early banker time in. And
yeah, we've actually got Freeman out first.
Freeman has really been the one to beat in this qualifying session so far, Barlow. He's been the one.
Yeah, he's led them both. He's led Q1 and he's led Q2. So I'm surprised he's actually gone out straight away. Let's say, get yourself a banker in there, get yourself something. But I'm surprised he's gone out straight away. I'll be honest. We've only 10 races to go around the track.
Definitely. And while we're here, actually, before we forget, we've got 37 viewers active at the moment, and I'm going to ask for 37 predictions for pole. If you can fire in who you think is going to get pole in the chat.
Get them all in.
Let us know. If you've been watching from the very beginning, you've seen the trend of Freeman being quite dominant in qualifying pace. I feel like your money would be quite safe on him for pole position, but you never know.
Yeah, he's been 2 temps up Q1 and in Q1 and in Q2, so he's very comfortably up in top at the moment.
And this is when it matters for Freeman as well. This is when it matters for everybody. This is going to determine their grid slots. And this is going to determine who's going to get pole. We will actually sit on board with Freeman on his flying lap if you want to run his through it, Barlow.
Yes, we're coming down. He's got his DRS open down into the first corner. We brake on it. It's quite a fast first right left into a straight again. DRS wide open. He is going to come up to traffic. We have got Ryan Jones in front, but I don't think it will matter. Coming around the fourth corner, beautifully keeps it on track. Round the fifth. He keeps it steady. I think it's the most steadiest car I've seen around that corner with a purple sector 1. Coming round very, very fast. It's just ultimately fast, isn't it? He comes round into turn 9 and 10. Keeps it beautiful. 8 and 9, sorry, this is turn 10. Going round. It's the S's which matter the most. Turn 10 11. There's a 47.8, I think it was. Goes round with DRS again, very wide open, straight down into sector 3, and this is where he benefits. This is the sector where everybody's been struggling to keep up with him. He just looks so smooth. Well, you can see it now. He looks so smooth. Keeps it. Don't really go on the curb on the outside of the corner there. Straight round centre, beautiful. Round Prost, down for the final turn. Just keeps it out the wall. DRS open and comes across the line with a wow. It's a 19.1. Now that is what you call a banker lap. Wow, he goes 4 cents quicker than he already has done. That is a lap to beat at the moment. Wow. Wow.
And
he must be loving it round here.
And that has been the quickest lap of qualifying so far. And we just sat and witnessed what looks to be a very pristine lap as he gets out the way for the Williams and the Ferrari coming behind. I'm looking at the chat action as well, Barlow. And we've got some predictions and
yeah, I don't think there's any other name except for it. Oh, we've got one for Midzi. But other than that, we've got Freeman easy, says Hickling. Owen saying Zydrad. Owen's going for the other Haas. He's going for Zydrad. Imagine that, Zydrad and Freeman 1-2. That'd be something for Haas. We might as well get the Haas team watching this one. Yeah, they've got something to cheer then.
Definitely. We'll see the biggest grin on Gunter Steiner's face if both of them get the front row. But it definitely does seem to be swinging Freeman's favour. We've got.
It must be alright for Freeman because he's a Yankee self, isn't he? In a Yankee cap.
Oh, they've got the American. It's a full American team.
Yeah, it is.
A full. Oh no! It's Zydrad's British, I think. I think he's British. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I know. American. Yeah, I don't think Zydrad's American. I know, as in terms of Freeman's car, which is all American, but for himself as well as being in the American Haas car. We have actually just got Crispy, who set out a decent pace lap there as well for the newcomer with a 19.6. A great lap. And I think Jam was reversing round this one with a 22.4. He's definitely got faster in that Williams. We know that one. So come on, Jam,
Definitely.
get out the safety car and get in an F1.
Exactly. Belt Nylander asked for his car back. You get in your race. But we've got Nicky10 in the chat saying, please say it's heavy rain in the race. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but as far as we're aware, it's meant to be dry for the race.
Yes.
So
we haven't. It's just on second with a 19.5. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
But yeah, no, we're supposed to have a full dry.
Yep, that was the information of the Williams telemetry. Owen Hill was just kind of confirmed that for us in the chat as well. But yeah, quite a lot of folks saying Freeman and his 410's quicker than everybody else. I feel that'd be a bit of a bank on itself there. Freeman has definitely been the one to beat. Midday he's actually done quite well in qualifying as well. He's always been thereabouts at the front end of the field, so I definitely Freeman Midday front row.
Yeah, we've actually just got Jam, who's just 19.5 in, as well as Mitzi. But at the moment, the Jam and the Ham, none of them have they've not looked on pace yet. But the race pace, well, let's be honest, they have it, don't they? So it can all be mended in the race. But we've just got to wait and see on that one.
Definitely.
See if they put out a show for us.
I mean, that's the thing as well. The Formula 1 season, like for season 5, it's a marathon and not a sprint. So I mean, I'm not saying get your mistakes in early or your slow pace in early or that. Like, drivers will still be trying to get familiarised with the game mechanics as well, because they have definitely been refurbished as well. So I mean, I was kind of sitting pondering that fact as well, and I was like, alright, okay, maybe some folk won't be as quick as they were in the last game, but it's the same usual suspects at the front. So definitely the skill has been transferred from one game to the next. And I mean, I'll give Crispy a special mention as well, a 19.6, and it's an Alpha Tauri 4.5 at the minute. As we see Jamham darting back into the pits, everybody.
Just letting you know, we have got Zydra just about to start a hot lap. If you want to ride board.
Yeah, we will do.
I think on this one, I think I'll let you go for this one. Give it a whirl.
Okay. Okay, as he comes across the start-finish line, he's going to have a wee run into turn 1. You want to brake just after the 100-metre board there. Clip that inside curve at turn 1. Don't run too wide onto 2 because it won't validate the lap. Looks to be fairly tidy so far as he's darting through the shadows of the trees on the left-hand side there as he brakes just after the 100-metre board. 3. Then shifts the car into second for that extra rotation, is what TRL Limitless likes to say there. Through turn 4, flat out through 5. Just kisses the curb on the inside, helps him round the corner as he comes through the first sector delta line with a 26.3. It is fairly quick, but we have seen faster through turn 7 and a wee kick 8 as we drive under the Aramco sponsor there. And you want to use this sausage curb in my opinion, but he opts against that particular piece of advice. Palm trees to the right hand side. The lake of Albert Park is just a bit further to your right there on the other side. Purple second sector with a 47.9 through 11 and 12. Took a nice amount of curb on the inside of 12. DRS is open for the third and final time on the circuit. I know he's going to open again on DRS, but through turn 13, nice apex there. Through what you were saying earlier, it takes a bit too much of the grass on the inside, but that minimalised his curb usage on the outside of 14 through Senna, and lastly through Prost. As we've got the fans on the left hand side cheering them through, and that fan power is going to maybe try and find a wee 10 for 2 in there for him, but it's going to be a 19.8 on the lap, and that's going to put him 5th fastest.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, he actually looked faster than a 19.8. I thought he was going to put it up there into the 5s. I really did thought we were going to go up into the 5s and be there with Mitzi and Jam, but I suppose it's well, I know it's still a fast lap. It's a second quicker than I've got in my kitty, so I can't say much. We have actually just got caught, by the way. He's just set a fastest sector 2. He's on a
Ferrari.
Flying, yes, in the Ferrari. It's still not set a lap yet.
He's looked fairly clean through the third sector here. He's only got 2 corners left on his lap as we are about to have the 2-minute warning for the third and final qualifying session. Ghost Colt will most likely have some time to save some fuel on this cooldown lap.
Wow,
up to
it's
third.
up to third.
And that's what I was going to say earlier as well. Ghost Colt in the pre-season race was one of the drivers that I was going to recommend having a look out for, and the pre-season race as well, because in the pre-season race it was Zydrad, Freeman and Ghost Colt, but because Freeman and Ghost Colt had picked the same car and they both pitted at the same time, Ghost Colt dealt a bit of a bad hand in terms of his pit stop, so we kind of lost it there, but Ghost Colt has definitely been one to keep an eye on as well, Barlow. That's probably my
insider. He's just out of the way there perfectly as well for Rizal. I've got Rizal on a hot lap here, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. He's going quick, but he's got there's 3 cars in front. Ghost Colt did really well there to get completely out of his way, which was nice. Again here, I think this is Beza. Got out of the way perfectly. He's just got a lot of traffic to deal with. Not good. He's just gone too... Did he go wide there? I didn't really see it. Give me the world's worst angle.
He went past and he's run wide at turn 12 as well, which is going to slow that car right down. But on the exit of turn 9, the car from the rear of the car just got a bit of a wobble on, had to correct it, and he was so lucky to escape with no damage on that front end of the McLaren as he
got Mitzi out, by the way. We've got Mitzi who's just had a bit of a spin on turn 2.
On Mitzi! On Freeman spun!
Freeman's gone?
Spun at turn 12, Barlow.
Wow, he's gone.
Well,
wow, okay.
18-9.
He has got 4th temps up at the moment, so... Oh, wow. Wow, it's a bit of a... Okay. So we've got, at the moment, pole is there to be fighting for.
Definitely. And
Lewis is on his hot lap to set his first ever actual time here. I'm just letting you know he's coming round turn 10, turn 11, fastest turn, turn 11, turn 12. Kept it very nicely, a lot better than Freeman did anyway on his lap. But he's going round very well. Well, look at that, Freeman. Everything's been flawless from Freeman until that one point. He's tried to get into the 18s. Was he just pushing that a little bit too much? Could he have just retired anyway?
I think he was definitely safe. I think anybody else in the field is going to be close enough to a 19-1, but I would like to be proven wrong. Lewis Racer comes up to line second, fastest for the Renault.
Wow, so we've got a Renault at the moment in 11th and one in 2nd. Wow,
and
okay.
He's coming back into the pits as well.
Wow, yeah, he's invalidated.
We'll need to see Jam
Crispy next to Fig come across the line.
Oh. Crispy
going round Senna now.
On his time.
Oh no, he's gone into the pit, so he's down.
Oh, and
Jam Ham coming round Prost.
Up to the line.
Can he get up into 2nd with it? Yeah, he can. He can. He's into the 19.4s. Beza behind, who's not improved. Then we've also got Zydrad, who's... Is he just about to start his lap? Yeah, he has. He's just started it. Just about. Wow, that was...
Right.
That was on the button.
Right. There must be some kind of technical glitch there, because I'm pretty sure the checkered flag was out, but
I thought
it was a glitch in the last game.
Yeah. Because everybody else is finished. It's just waiting for Zydrad to see where he can get. At the moment, he's literally just set near enough equal to what he already was on.
Zydrad on level pace. The skies are getting greyer as well, so that threat of rain.
Let's hope we get some kind of wet. It'd be nice.
I mean, I'd like to see a bit of wet weather spicing up the race action, but Zydrad as well. He hasn't gone any faster. He runs wide. He runs wide at 12 as well, and he is starting to give the steering wheel a wee bit of wiggles. He's got traffic as well, so...
No, he's stopped now. He was 2 temps down. I thought he was slowing down there, and he did.
Oh. And
there's the AI
for
there. There's the AI giving it in,
game.
So... Wow, if you want to take us through the grid. For the top 10.
So, and as Freeman, despite his accident at turn 12, the first mistake we've seen from him all session, he does secure pole position for himself and for the Haas team. 3 tenths quicker than Jamham, who'll be sharing the front row. Haas Williams front row there for them. Lewis Racer with a strong lap right at the end of the session, had to put him up to 3rd. Midzi, who has been showing strong pace throughout the 3 sessions, starts 4th on the day. Ghost Colt and Ryan Jones are sharing the 3rd row. Crispy on debut in the Elite Division starting 7th. Zydrad in 8th. Bezos and Rizal rounding out the top 10, both at the exact same time, surprisingly. They both set a 1:19.890. I had to literally go back to the stream to find out what that was, because the screen went black. and we can use this time as your 5 minute break. We can
Yeah,
go
I'm going
and
to actually go and quickly take a break because I do need a break myself. I'll let you just carry on, and I will be back in literally 30 seconds.
no worries, no worries. So in this break, feel free to go to the toilet, get yourself a nice wee cup of tea, something to eat, get your dinner in, get yourself comfy on your couch or bed, wherever you may be watching. Um, Fire in some predictions to myself and Barlow in the chat. Who you think's going to get the race victory? You want to, if you want to be brave enough, you can try and predict the fastest lap, predict the podium to us. Just let us know where you think who's going to finish where. I honestly do not know where to start with predictions, to be fair. So if you want to be brave enough to predict your race winner, your top three, and your fastest lap in the chat, please be sure to fire them into me. And we've already got Owen saying Haas 1-2, please. Freeman's definitely been one for the pace. Zydrad is there or thereabouts as well. If he's definitely got some racecraft in him, I can definitely see him at least giving the podium a real opportunity there. I want to see Beast get a good result as always. Midzy with the W. Oh, so Blonde on Julio is saying Midzy for the W. Sean says Freeman to win, Jam second, and Midzy rounding out the podium as well. So we've got a fair diversification of predictions there. Owen also says Ham could be in for a madness as well, starting from P. He'll have the free choice of tyre. It'll also be the fresh tyre as well. I definitely feel the strategy is going to be, if it is dry conditions, and it definitely looks to be, the sun is shining here at Albert Park in downtown Melbourne. I'm definitely seeing the sun shining on the tarmac there in the pit lane. It will mainly be a soft to hard strategy. Mainly, and I think the pit window will be around lap 8. Between lap 8 and lap 11, I feel that's the pit window is going to be opened, and if a safety car or VSC comes out about lap 4 or 5, I definitely feel drivers can escape with an early pit stop under a caution.
I'm back just to let you know.
Eyes on Mix. Oh, no worries. Cylinders is also saying eyes on Mix for his last to first challenge. Definitely Mix will be one to watch from the back of the field after his accident at the Morgan Masha in the first qualifying session. Ranga says, yo, Benz. Alright, so he's just talking to Benz in the chat and just congratulating him for a good race night. Barlow, are you brave enough to give us your insight about who you think's going to win and round out the podium?
So this one today, honestly, if Freeman can keep it together for the 29 laps around turn 12, I think he's going to command this race. I really do. He looks so strong. I've been riding on board with him. Sorry, through Q2 and through Q3. He just looks so strong around there. But I don't know if I can choose a second or third because there's just so many up there. You know, obviously you've got Ham who can come through the pack whenever he decides he wants to come through the pack. He's a racer. Jam again. He's in P2 in it, and I think to be fair, I'm going to say my prediction is Freeman P1. I'm going to say Jam was going to keep P2, and
I can see the third place position is just going to be one of the most difficult positions.
Yeah, it's that. You know what? I can't figure out. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to say Mitzi's going to get the P3. I'm going to say Mitzi's going to get there in P3. So my prediction is Freeman, followed by Jam, followed by Mitzi. I reckon there's going to pull out our thing. I think there's too much work for Ham to do to get from P11 up to there. I think he might get to P5, P4, but I just don't think he's going to get past the pack quick enough to actually get to the podium places. I think they're going to be gone by the time he's made his way through the traffic, because he's also got Zydrad to make his way through traffic in. He's also got Lewis Racer, which is a little bit easier for him because it's his teammate, but then he's also got both Alpha Tauris. They're not going to be wanting to move. You know, they both look very quick. So, yeah, it's a difficult one really for Ham. He's got to try and get some places up quick if he does stand a chance for the podium today. But he's a good racer. He could get there. But I'm afraid my prediction is that.
I mean, Autumn were readying up if they 5 minutes just flew in, but I would definitely I'll just jump on board that bandwagon with yourself, Barlow. The commentary team are going to settle for the same prediction. I've definitely feeling a circuit that isn't really one for overtaking. You've got 3 DRS zones that try and aid that. Turn 1, 3 and 13, they're the only real opportunities I can see an overtake happening, and even then they're not that easy because the straight's only generously long for the drivers to make.
Turn 1's a bit hard to overtake on. It's a bit of a funny one because if that it's your last turn really, and let's be honest, what is it, turn 15? No, turn 16 is just probably one of the hardest to get right, and the driver in front to get wrong, because you need a mistake from the driver in front from turn 1. I think when you get into turn 1, turn 2, I think that's where you need to try and get it together to get him into turn 3, and then you've got a bit of a whole lap then to try and get out that DRS zone. So you want to be people with turn 3 more than you want to be looking at turn 1. I think they'll probably settle behind him in turn 1 to grab him to turn 3. I know that's using my kind of tactic. It works, though sometimes it really doesn't, and but yeah, down the home straight, it's very easy to overtake when you don't get that last corner right. Use too much of your ERS.
That's exactly it as well. In the dirty air as well is hinder your run through turn 16 as well. And I've got the tyre deltas, the tyre information up as well. I've got a couple of medium runners in B-Dunk, Sat and Beast Assassin, so they're planning to go longer on the first stint. So definitely.
Yeah, so we got
there.
And Darnell and B-Dunk have split their strategy, haven't they? Seeing as in the same car.
That might be a bit of team play there, so they don't.
Yeah, I'm going to say it is.
And
I'm quite shocked if Volk hasn't done the same thing, to be fair, with the mediums, to go a bit longer. But yet again, though, a one-stop round here does work. A one-stop does work. With softs to go on to hards, if you can get softs up to, obviously the first 10 drivers is it's a bit harder for them to take the softs up to lap 9, lap 10. You can make it on lap 8 to get straight round for the next 2 laps is it on the hards, but they do drop off on the end. They really do drop off in the last 2 laps, 3 laps. But it does work. It does work. Did it on the side pod last week.
And sorry, Bal, just to cut across you there. We've got the 5 lights there. Mix did resume the last place on the grid there, but the lights are off, and we're going racing here for the 4th and final time here in the. A clean start there from Freeman covering off Jam on the inside.
Great start
there as well as he keeps the lead, and it's Lewis Racer gone round the outside of Jam Ham there at turn 1, but he has to settle for sticking in behind. What's happening down the field? Mids trying to keep Zydrad and Ryan Jones and see the timing screens on the side.
Just wait for sector 1 to finish and the timing screen does sort itself out. Sorry guys, it isn't our fault on this one. It will now. You'll notice Freeman will go up to the top, and they'll start now piling behind him. It is a bit of a nightmare.
And it is Freeman that does keep the lead off the start there. The top 4 positions remain unchanged. Ryan and Zydrad are both up 2 as Ghost Colt's only gone backwards as Rizal. Zydrad's got up the inside at turn 8 and Ferrari wide on the exit of turn. The Ferrari's getting about out of shape there on the run down to turn 9.
Yeah, he's losing a couple of places as well. Place to Rizal.
As the McLaren, the Rizal has gone round the outside. 11 and 12 and he makes it work.
Just about.
And Ham jammed on a charge already. Barlow as he's got up the inside of Crispy on the run down to turn 13. He's going to have the inside line on the braking, but Crispy's going to try and hold it round the outside, and they're going side to side.
He's held it very well.
And he's held it exceptionally well there on the start there at turn 13. Ham jam's going to try and go for a late braking move into Senna, and just doesn't make it work. Managed to slow the car down just enough there.
The 3 drivers that started on mediums, not one of them have kept the place. All gone down to the back of the pack. So the mediums have not worked on the start, but they will work later on. They will wear in. They will join the race at some point. Oh, we have actually got Craig Bear in the pits. He must have had a bit of damage. He's gone straight onto the hards.
And we've got Darnell and Evoke gone side by side through 3 and 4. And Evoke's gave Darnell a bit of the elbows out there through turn 4, and the Alfa Romero Quicks is looking to get a piece of that action as well if it all goes a bit pear-shaped there. But as you were saying, Barlow, the medium runners, no gain in places, penalties getting picked up already for exceeding track limits. We'll try and avoid them as much as we possibly can. But you were saying medium runners, just they're not getting that punch. The tyre rubber is harder, so getting that initial launch and punch off is going to be a lot more difficult for the harder tyres, and that's probably why we've seen them relegated down the grid. And the soft runners definitely getting the formation laps nailed and the temperatures up to speed, and that's why we've seen them make such gains. But it is Freeman from Jamham, Lewis Racer as your top three as we're about to start lap 3 of 29. We've got a long race ahead of us, and I'm hoping that it'll just be as action packed as the last 3 that we've had here over the course of the weekend, as Freeman goes with a fastest lap there, 23.8. And I'm looking up and down the field to see what else is happening. We've got a Ham Jam just sitting quite comfortably behind Crispy. He hasn't really made too much ground off the start, but he is in the points. He is quite comfortable where he is. So
yeah, they're all within a second of each other at the moment, and Evoke and Darnell are still going at it, still trading places together.
Oh, and we've got Crispy's return. Sorry, I've just completely ignored that there. I had to check something on the disc on this Crispy.
Yeah, he does.
At turn
wow,
4.
turn 4.
And I don't know what's happened there. I never really got to grips with what actually happened, but Crispy on debut is out on lap 3 of 29 as the yellow flags are going to be waving frantically at turn 4, and it's going to be Craze Bale. It's going to be the first driver to see, he wasn't going to be the first driver to see it now because the marshals have got to work. But Jamham and Freeman have built a 1 second gap to Lewis Racers, so the top 2 are definitely kind of on the pace in this early stage. Jamham's just sitting behind the Haas at this stage. DRS flat was open on the run down to 13, so at this early stage it's still really early to tell where the driver's pace really lies, but Jamham is doing his best to keep up with the Haas in front. And we've seen anything else up and down the field, because we've seen a split between the top 9 and the rest of the field, and we've got Bezos and Crazed Bear just running their own races at the back. But on lap 4 of 29 it is Freeman from Jamham and Lewis Racer still remain to be your top 3. Midday in 4th, Ryan Jones, Zydrad, Rizal and Ghost Colt is your top 8. Hamjam and Motion Haza is 3.9 seconds behind the leading pack, so it is a 9-way train at the front of the field in this present moment. We're going to look up and down the field as Zydrad is getting closer to Ryan Jones. Will sit on board with the Haas driver as he comes through turn 8. Ryan Jones taking a bit of the sausage curve there on entry. So this is just going to be like the DRS is activated. Drivers will probably just sit and use the DRS and try and save their energy recovery system and the kinetic energy within their engines as well, and save that power for when they're needing extra acceleration out of the corners, out of the slow traction turns as well. So Zydrad just sitting quite comfortably behind the Alpha Tauri in front as yellow flags.
Oh, we've got a big crash here. We've got Rizal out. We've got Rizal out. Wow, that was a big crash there coming round turn 13. Wow, that was a big one. So
Rizal,
that's not very good.
Definitely know the start of the season for McLaren.
Yeah, we've had to have and Jam is in the pits because of that. Not Jam, Ham, sorry, he's in the pits. He got a bit of wing damage there on the front right. Crashed straight into Rizal straight after he'd done that.
And if there's one driver I want to kind of point out in that start Barlow is Merckx. 5 laps in, he's went from P20 to P12, so he is in this train for the points. He's had an exceptional start, and he's kept that Red Bull out of trouble.
Right, yeah.
And he's going to have Duncan, UK Beast Assassin there right behind as well, so both drivers, all drivers on the mediums are really going to start.
Yeah, and they're going to start turning on now. Lap 5, the softs are already halfway with their thing.
And it's just going to be single file at this stage as Darnell is right on the rear wing of Evoke. Evoke's no actually in the game, he's got the X next to his gamer tag as well, so I don't know if he's just disconnected. So we'll need to try and get him back in, and hopefully we can try and get him in soon. But we've seen some action as Freeman has gone really slowly and he's into the pits. He's got some wing damage, Barlow. So the race leader and the outstanding performer so far in this race.
Wow, yeah, he
weekend,
has.
finding damage on that front wing and he's already into the pits. I think lap 6 is relatively safe, but that wing repair is going to cost him some time and he'll most likely lose whatever positions he had at the start.
Yeah, he's gone into the pits, but he's gone on to mediums. So he's on mediums, so he's going to have to do a 2-stop. On hards, you could have seen him trying to go to the end, but...
And that's the thing I've noticed as well, Barlow. I've noticed that Ham Jam has went onto the softs as well. I've got a message from Evoke. I don't know if that's him just asking to get back.
Yeah, Evoke, that's what I'm on there now.
We'll try and get him back in. Don't want him missing out on the race. But Darnell really giving Evoke's AI a bit of a tough time here, so it's just a matter of getting past and trying to find the right moment for the racing point to try and get past into 8th place as he comes through turn 11 and 12, and he'll probably unleash some of that ERS and use that drag recovery, that drag reduction system on the back of that car. But it's no good enough. His AI is performing a good enough job to keep up with Motion Hazard, and that's keeping him in that DRS loop. So Darnell's going to have to try and find a rather unconventional way to try and get past the McLaren in front if he's want to make some inroads on Motion Hazard in front, as he's just losing seconds hand over fist from the top 6. But yep, Surners says he booked me the 9 byte. We are on that case as we see.
Yeah,
Darnell
we are
get
on
past
it. We are trying as quick as we can.
Oh, and Ryan Jones and Zydrad are going side by side through turn 5, and Ryan Jones just keeps the place there, so Zydrad's making Ryan Jones work for that 4th place there as Hamjam goes fast on a set of softs. So I think Hamjam will definitely need to come back into the pits once again this race, because he started on the soft tyres and he's switched back onto the soft tyres. So Hamjam will most definitely need to make a visit to the pit stop once again. We've got a wee train for 4th place between Ryan Jones, Zydrad and Ghost Colt, all within 0.6 of a second. And Ghost Colt is going to have the DRS on Zydrad. He's going to pull the Ferrari to the right hand side of your screen here. Going to try and go around the outside at turn 13. Zydrad's on the inside, Ghost Colt's on the outside. Still side by side, but Ghost Colt's got the place. But Zydrad's going to have the inside for 14. And Ghost Colt squeezes him on the apex and makes it work. Into P5 he goes in the Ferrari. And up into 5th. And he's going to have Ryan Jones right in front of him. So he's going to try and make some inroads on the Alpha Tauri in front and try and reel in the podium sitters on lap 8 of 29. And that was an absolutely staggering move there for the Ferrari driver. My pet was in its move there. Brilliant driving between the pair of them to keep it clean, keep it tidy through turn 13, where it is just such a tight bit of circuit as well. There's no much room to manoeuvre, and it's so easy just to get the braking all wrong in there. But the racing skill of the drivers in Elite made that work. And we're seeing some movement as Merckx is into the pits for hard tyres, so he's thinking his windows open. As yellow flags for Sa, who has lost his front left end plate. Must have just lost it on turn 4, so turn 4 proving to be a bit of a Achilles heel for some of the drivers so far.
Yeah, and he actually says he's on fresh mediums.
And
he's actually got no front. He's got no left front there, so he's going to have to go in the pits again. Right, okay, that's not going to do his race any well.
Definitely not. It's not going to be the race that he would have hoped for, but he's going to have to make another visit to the pit stop once again. As we'll jump on board with this battle for the final point as B Dunk and Beast Assassin both on the medium tyres, just tucked up right behind the Alfa Romeo Paraquix, as we're seeing some pit action amongst the front 5 as they're all into the pits. We see Paraquix darting into the pit lane as well as Darnell as well, so seeing a lot of pit work being made, and there's just a Sunday, it's just a rush of traffic in the pit lane here in Melbourne, and I'm trying to find somebody on track to jump on board with. And the medium runners B Dunk and UK Beast Assassin are up into the top 5. Jam Ham's onto the hards, Lewis races mediums, Midzy hards, Ryan Jones in the hards, Ghost Colt's gone in the hard tyres, Freeman pitted, 3 laps earlier, he's on the medium tyres, Ham Jam definitely needs to make another stop in this race, he's on soft tyres, Darnell's onto the medium, so a real split in strategy here. People are a bit like, right, the medium
Yeah,
tyres are
you've
really
got
going to date for us.
Mitzi and Jones and Ghost Holt who really, I'm going to say they've got the advantage for me with going on to the hards. They can go all the way to the end, same with Jam Ham. He can go straight to the ends now on this, so for me, provisional win, it's going to have to go to Jam now, realistically, looking at the way it's laying out. But there could be twists and turns, yeah, you can't put your finger on it, can we, let's be honest.
I definitely know, and it's what Murray Walker normally says, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it normally does, and if the last 3 races with Parker to go by, you'll know that saying stands true, because anything can indeed happen, and it's just a matter of, it really just kind of says it's a matter of when, like, I just kind of feel like that's just, like, the kind of mentality to take into every race in SLR, every race is a treat. It's just a matter of when rather than if, for some just to hit the fan for one of these rivals. Craze Bale's retired though at turn 14, so I'm going to try and jump on board with somebody that's nearby. We'll go Bez's, we'll just sit on board with him to see what happens with Craze Bear. As the VSC pays a visit for the first time in this race,
okay.
As Craze Bale's just parked up on turn the wee straight between 13 and 14, so I don't know if he's maybe just got a bit too much of the exit curb, a bit too much throttle, and the car's just veered off to the right. Car's bit, and the next place he headed up was on the wall on the inside, but the VSC is out. It gives people
Power Quick's drive through, speeding. So Power Quick's is just, down in 15th, his race isn't going that well, with a drive through penalty.
Definitely know what you were wanting to be awarded with this race. The Albert Park pit lane is one of the slowest in the full calendar, so that is going to be absolute torture for Paraquix once he comes in to serve that penalty. I mean, I feel like a drive-through penalty is, I mean, I don't know, like, a drive-through penalty here is normally going to be an equivalent of about 12 to 15 seconds. The pit lane is actually, it really is that slow. So
yeah, the pit lane
he's going to lose a
slow.
lot of time. So he's going to lose it in so much time.
We've got Volks now in the pits from second. He goes right down the pack though, that's the only problem. Back behind Hamjam, Darnell. Motion hasn't going to pass him, Merckx is going to pass him. So Ravi does go back quite far. Paraquix, but he has got a drive through, so there is one position he will get back very easily.
Definitely, he'll be on the fresher rubber as well, so we should expect to see his name carving through the field once the hard tyres get up and running as well. We have a wee train for 5th place at the moment. We've got Midzy, Ryan Jones, Ghost Colt and Zydrad all on the same piece of tarmac. Ghost Colt is darting out at the slipstream of the Alpha Tauri in front, just trying to cool down the front tyres and plan a moving. Maybe just try and put Ryan Jones off a wee bit at this stage in the race, because you can normally put your car outside of the slipstream and try and unsettle the driver in front, and that allows you to slip through if they make a mistake. So maybe that's what that trick of the Ghost Colt is trying to play. Is the same. He does it again into turn 13 as well, and he's right on the rear wing of the Alpha Tauri in front. And I'm seeing a lot of white smoke being kicked up for the brakes of Midzy, so his braking references are just a bit off as he's having to slam on the brakes that wee bit harder, trying to slow the car down. And the same there with Ryan Jones into turn 15 as well. So we have Ghost Colt right there though, but Ryan Jones does have the DRS as well, so, and that's the thing as well, Barlow, as much as the game has improved in my personal opinion, the DRS trains are still very much a thing in this game.
I think what it is obviously when you're in the DRS now, you've got the overtake and it is ridiculous. Just one minute, I'll just go and speak to Evoke. And
while we're going to try and get back in, we're having some connection issues. We're going to sit on board with Ghost Colt on lap 12 of 29 of this race. It is B-Dunk that leads and UK Beast Assassin in second place for Racing Point and Ferrari respectively. However, they both need to pit, and Oh, and we've got Ghost Cole having a bit of a slide on the exit of turn 8 as he's still behind Ryan Jones on the run down to turn 11 and 12. The quick left-right chicane, he's going to experience a lot of the dirty air through there. And it really does unsettle the driver, and it really does dent your confidence when you've got dirty air through at such a fast sequence. And we're going to try and get Evoke back in there. No worries, we had Barlow.
Should hopefully be back in now.
Hopefully we can definitely get him back in. His AI is not doing the job that we expect Evoke to be doing, as we see yellow flags on the second seconds for Bezos, so I don't know if he's just had a wee off of his own there. As we see Beast Assassin coming into the pits onto the hard tyres. Ham Jam's back out of the pits once again, so he went soft. He's going to probably go soft, and maybe hunt the mediums. I don't know if the mediums can do 16 laps. I feel like they can. I'm not too glued up on that particular piece of information.
Yeah, they are a big push, but it's a dodgy one. I think the yards are a lot safer. They're a lot more consistent, as the word is. But well, B-Dunk obviously does say he's got 0 laps, but he has been on them now for quite a few laps.
Oh, and while we're sitting on the durability of the medium tyres, I'm sitting on board with Ghost Colt, who's just right behind the AlphaTauri of Ryan Jones, and it's clear to see that the Ferrari is quicker and is more confident through these sequence of corners than the AlphaTauri, but Ryan Jones is always getting the DRS from Middsay, so Ryan Jones is always going to have that element to defend with. And as you were saying, the ERS is just mightily powerful on this game. Like it is like just fitting a brand new engine within your car. Like it really is just that quick. And
we have actually just
power that the ERS.
Evoke's rejoined and he's lost his left end plate.
Wow, that has definitely not been the return that he would have wanted for this session.
I think he's rejoined. I hope he's rejoined anyway. But it wouldn't have been the best restart of the session for him. As we do actually have the first big rivalry of the team. Are we going to have some team orders with the Haas, as Zydrad is right up the end of Freeman, but Freeman on the he's on the quicker tyres and he's on the mediums, the quicker tyres, but he cannot go to the end, not on the mediums. He's already done 8 laps on him.
It's times like this where I would like see when you see it on the Sky coverage when Formula One's at a race weekend, and they normally just press the wee button and they end up talking to Gunther Steiner or Christian Horner.
Oh,
like,
it'd be absolutely amazing.
That we would be like, Gunther, we need to switch the cars here. It looks like Zydrad is quicker. But
the thing is, though, you say he looks quicker, but then you've got Freeman. He's in the DRS train with them. The gap has stayed from 8th. It's stayed from the 8th, 10th, 9th, 10th of a second. It's not actually gone any closer at the moment. So at the moment, Zydrad isn't actually pushing as much as Freeman is, but it could make it that could play in very, very soon, as Freeman will have to pit probably within the next, I'm going to say, what is he got 5 laps on them, has he? And then he's going to have to, I reckon, be going medium then soft and do a 8-9 lap soft sprint and hopefully get back up as far as he possibly can. And that is the way he's looking at that one right now.
I'm still kind of struggling to comprehend why the mediums were ever an option. I don't know why. I just don't see the longevity in the medium tyres to go from lap 8 or 9 when the pit window was open to lap 29. That's 20 laps. The track itself is a very abrasive and bumpy circuit, so that's not going to do too much with your tyre life. That's going to hinder you at every opportunity. So I mean,
yeah,
if they know
something
don't, then that's fine. But at the same time, I'm in my mind, and my mind's just screaming to me like, why are they on the mediums?
At the moment, we've actually got the top 3 battling that hard. The top 2 have no ERS, but then we've got Jam in 3rd with 70% ERS. So at the moment, he's looking mega strong for that provisional first place of the race.
And as B-Dunk that is still leading this race on lap 16 of 29. He is still to pit. Lewis Racer there in second. And Jamham just reeling the Renault in at this stage of the race. So Jamham really just trying to get as close as he can, and he'll be wanting to get past as quick as he can as well. He's got a 3.5 second buffer to Midze, who does have a train all the way down to Zydrad in 8th, so it's a 5-man battle for 4th place. Apologies. But it's just this DRS train once again, and this is allowing Midze's own 36% ERS. And
Freedom with a penalty as well. That's going to place
well.
into somebody's hands in the end of this race.
Definitely. I feel penalties will accumulate and they will add up to probably have a big influence on the final race results, so we'll be very much looking forward to seeing how that shapes everything up at the end.
That's the only big difference. We have got Lewis literally like on the gearbox of B-Dunk for P1 right now. He's right on his tail light.
And the Renault just looking quicker than the Racing Point at this stage as B-Dunk. B-Dunk stays out, so B-Dunk definitely going to try and go to the softs on about lap 19, lap 20 as the Renault darts out of the slipstream. DRS is open.
Easily. But yeah, again though, like I was saying before, the tyre, obviously he's got, as it says on our screens, that he's got 0 laps. That is a glitch on the game, unfortunately. He does not have 0 laps. That's why his tyres are looking a bit worse for wear. He's probably got, I think he's actually got 2 lap older mediums on than Lewis has, if I'm right of saying.
I am looking through. Oh, we've got the team orders there. I don't know if it was team orders or it was just a genuine difference in pace, but Zydrad does make his way past Freeman up for 7th place, so Zydrad's going to try and close this pack in front down. But see, Freeman, I do feel Freeman's definitely going to come out of the pits. B-Dunk will probably, I'll expect the Racing Point team to come out and service B-Dunk's car in a lap or two's time. He's going to try and maximise his opportunity on the soft tyres at the end. It normally is around a 20 to 22 second pit stop, so that would put him about
Freeman would
Beast
go.
Assassin.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'd say just probably behind Jamham, and that's where it's going to be. His battle is going to be with Jamham for trying to get into their points. And if I'm right saying, sorry, just a quick one, I did say B-Dunk was 2 laps older, but didn't B-Dunk start? Ghost Colt, has he gone? Did he go on the final corner?
Ghost Colt off the final corner, just get a big tank slapper on there, just too much rear end there, and
He's
the
lucky
car
he's got no damage.
Stabilised, had to correct it there and just narrowly escaped damage, or just narrowly escaped the pit wall there, so very lucky to keep that car in the one piece.
Yeah, Freeman pits. Freeman is in the pits. Is that a drive-through penalty? Because he hasn't changed. Has he changed? Yeah, he has. He's changed onto mediums again. Wow. Okay. Oh, and he come right out. There we go. As I said, right next to Ham. So this is a battle to the finish with these two, as we have got a few drivers up in the top 10 that have to pit. Darnell is one. B-Dunk is another. Because if I'm right saying, didn't B-Dunk start on the mediums?
B-Dunk was on the mediums from the start. He was one of the 3 drivers to be on the mediums, and he started 12th on the grid. So he's been on those tyres from the very start of the race. And I mean, he's done exceptionally well in terms of tyre management.
And he's actually not stopped yet. He's not stopped.
So he's definitely probably going to be one to watch when he pits. It normally is about a 20 to 22 second pit stop. So he's looking.
And he's in the pits. He goes in the
3
pits.
seconds.
And there we go. So he will definitely be going on the softs, I think. Because he has to go on a different compound tyre. So I'm going to say it's a soft to go through, and there it is. Yes, it's the red wall tyre going on the pink Mercedes. What can he do? Because he's going to be he's going to be in the battle with Ham and Freeman. He's going to come out just in front of the battle of Ham and Freeman. They're right behind there. He should be able to stay in front, especially on the soft tyres. So
he's gonna.
Yeah, this is all the way to the finish now for them. And now it says he's got 18 lap old softs. So yeah, the game's doing its job.
Glitches are strong in this game. Yep. The technical glitches are
Love
strong
it.
with this one, but it is B Dunk. He has an 11th. That's a really strong place.
And he gets
to
a
be.
penalty
has only
straight
3
away.
seconds. Oh, so nah.
Wow.
Let's say he has in a strong place. Penalty. Nah, he's not in a stronger place. He's not in as strong a place as he once was. But I mean, he has 11th. He has only 3 seconds down the road for Beast Assassin, who is just right there with Mercs, and Motion has as well. So B Dunk can really look at an 8th place. Realistically,
I think the biggest loser in this one's going to be, obviously sorry to say it, but it's going to be Lewis at the top there with he's got 11 lap old mediums, and when he gets into the pits, he's going down to 8th. He goes down all the way back down to 8th. Obviously, he's going to be on fresh mediums, which everybody else in front of him is going to be on worn hard tyres, so he is going to be a lot quicker, but they're all very, very close and bunched together, so it's not going to be easy fighting through the pack to see if he can get up there, but well, we'll have to wait and see on that one, won't we? Because he's going to be a long way down from 7th.
Definitely.
So with there's one driver to watch, guys. There really is one driver to watch, because he's still, to be fair, he could still come out on softs, if I'm right saying, couldn't he? Or would he have to go on to a different compound?
I think softs would be fine.
The soft, medium, soft?
Yep, I think that could definitely work. It depends how many soft tyres he's used in qualifying, because
that's a good point. Has he got any softs left?
And
is Zydra picking up another penalty there?
B-Dunk didn't make it to Q3, so he's definitely got some fresh softs there. That's why you're seeing him close the gap already. We'll just jump on board with him, so he should be making quick work of Beast Assassin in front. Both drivers started on the mediums. Beast Assassins went conservative with the hard tyres, B-Dunks went aggressive with the softs. And you can just see B-Dunk carries so much more speed through 13, and they had to slam on the brake there to stop ramming into the back of that Ferrari, and just makes quite worky Beast Assassin there into 14. So B-Dunk
and he's only on 7 lap old hards. They're not really worn hards as such, to be fair. But like you say, there's a fastest lap as well. Do you know? Well, that's all you need to know. There's a fastest lap and coming through the pack. He's going to be on for big point. Like you say, he's got Mercs and Motion Hazard just in front of him. Then they're 11 seconds up the road for Darnell, but Darnell has to pit, and so does Lewis. I don't think they'll take him to the end, but you never know, they could do.
I mean, I'm looking at the chat, and I've got Thomas B, Salty O'Clock, and Amico 20 all saying the same thing, saying they're going to try and Lewis Racer's got to try and make it to the end. So if Lewis Racer can make that work, then kudos, eh? Like,
I just don't.
That'd be like a massive.
I don't
job.
see it, because I know for a fact the hards will drop off come lap 28, 29. So the mediums, you know, I'm going to say the mediums are going to drop off in the next couple of laps. I reckon they only go 15, 16 laps. The mediums till they really fall, and there's B-Dunk again. B-Dunk on Mercs, so B-Dunk now in 9th.
And he's going to have Motion Hazard most likely into turn 1, if not, it'll be turn 3 at the absolute latest. And
look at that, this speed. The speed difference there just at the final turn says everything you need to know. But the only one problem B-Dunk hasn't got advantage on is he's got no ERS whatsoever. What he could do with doing is saving that, massively saving now. He's got fresh air. He's basically racing his own, he's driving his own race now, winning 14 seconds behind Zydrad. He could do with saving that ERS till he gets up there. He could, bearing in mind when he gets up there, he'll have nearly a full ERS. But again, he's using it now. He's got the overtake button on. I think he could do with saving that a bit. 12 lap old tyres for Motion Hazard. Bit of a difference.
We've got Callum McKeon saying 19 lap mediums went on Friday night. So mediums have went 19 laps. Salty O'Clock says too late to pit now. If he was going to pit, it would have been 2 laps ago. I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of the more I'm looking at it, and he's just going to run again. It's lap 20. He's going to start lap 23 of 29, and it's not like he's losing too much time to Jam either. Jam's just, I think he's just
Jam's just staying where he is. There's nothing really much, but the only problem is if you have a look at the ERS on both of them, Lewis's ERS is on 5%. But Jams is on 46. He's not actually using his overtake. The overtake button is not being pressed. So
Definitely.
is Jam just saving it and teasing Lewis till Lewis's tyres completely fall off? Is he just teasing? That's the only issue. Bearing in mind, B Dunk has actually created a 2.5 second gap within just a lap, so he is flying.
You can definitely see, and we should definitely see the same from Darnell. He's also pitted for the soft tyres there as well. He is only 6 seconds away from.
Literally 3 seconds off Ham
for points.
So yeah, there's a lot to go. Even though Ham's tyres on ours, that's glitches. Ham's running 32 lap old tyres with a 29 lap race. So we're loving the glitch at the moment.
Definitely, the glitch is just. I mean, I'm trying to like comprehend why it's saying B Dunk's on 26 lap old tyres. We've not even done 26 laps of this race, but I'm assuming that's counting for qualifying. But I mean, I'm hoping that gets resolved at some point, as well as the starting glitch with the fact that the order of the leaderboards are just completely jumbled up at the start. It was really hard to do the 5 lights and the start, because it was the next thing you knew, it was the person that was last was first, and everybody just like did a full 180. So it was really hard to keep up with.
It is a nightmare. I think it's worse for us because we're looking at the grid, and obviously we need that to see who's moved and who's gone where. It is perfect for us. Darnell goes a fastest lap over 22.2. But yeah, no, we need that screen on the left hand side for us. It makes it a lot easier.
We've got Merckx up the inside of Motion Hazard. Sorry,
Motion Hazard, has he gone? Has he done it?
He tried a lunge into turn 3, tried a late braking move, and he tapped the side of the Mercedes, and it nearly lost him a place to Freeman, who's caught up to
Freeman
this
has actually just gone past Beast. Freeman has just gone past Beast. So yeah, it's all heating up for the top 10, because there is battles for it all over.
Definitely, and Freeman, who is known as the SLR dive bomber.
Okay, no, Beast has gone. Beast has gone.
Oh.
There's his front wing. And
he's just
decided to drive into the wall on that time.
He's just like, alright, okay, Ferrari, here's an extra bill for you. But Ferrari
mechanics these days are used to changing a front wing, so you're alright. Don't worry, Beast. They'll have that sorted for you.
Sorry, you're in good hands, son, don't worry. We're under virtual safety car conditions here on lap 25, and this is going to give Lewis Racer the opportunity to save the tyres that wee bit more, but we're going to keep a focus on what's happening at the front. That delta is going to also like fluctuate, because trying to manage that delta is a bit of a pain in the rear end, shall I say, to be polite. But in Paraquicks, we had another drive-through for speeding under the VSC. And we're back to racing, does he? And we've got Freeman trying to go around the outside of Merckx into turn 3, and Merckx gets the elbows out, shoves him wide. Freeman keeps his nose in it for 4, nearly.
Has he got it in 4th?
Merckx, and he's going to try going around the outside of turn 5 as well. Freeman is getting restless behind that Red Bull. He is very impatient at this point, and I was about to say before that virtual safety car came out, Freeman is known as the dive bomber. Are we going to see a couple of lunges into Merckx in these final 4 laps? We will stay on board to see what happens. See if we can try and make a move, but there is some close battles up in the battle for the podium places. Ghost Colt is right behind Ryan Jones once again. We'll see. We'll jump on board with Freeman just to see if he makes a move into turn 13. Merckx will need to defend the inside. He's not going to have DRS. What does Merckx do? He does make a big.
Right, he's gone for it. He's gone for it again. He's gone for it again. He's pushed him out wide. He's pushing him, but there's. Is he going to? No, he's not going to get into turn 14 either. With the fresher tyres. The 10-lap old fresher tyres as well, so he just can't do it. But then you've also got Darnell behind him who's on even quicker tyres, so he's really got to watch where he's diving, because this could end in hell for both of them, really.
And Merckx has just gone really defensive into turn 1 there as well, and Freeman's going to try and go around the outside, and he's
very easily on that one. Darnell is right on his back though. Is Darnell going to take him? Is that 2 positions in 2 corners? It might just be Darnell around the outside.
No,
Merckx is doing really well, but then Darnell takes the inside. He's suck it. That is, wow. Beautiful racing there from them guys. Beautiful racing.
And we've got Ham Jam there just behind as well.
Right
so
behind
Metz
him
might
as
be
well.
in the brink of losing 3 places on
One
just
lap.
a quick concession there.
Yeah.
But we're going to jump on board to the front where Jam Ham's brought that gap down to Lewis Racer once again. It is 0.3 of a second here. We've only got 4 laps, well 3.5 laps remaining of the race. And Lewis Racer is going to try and make currently his 17 lap old mediums last to the end. Yellow flags out in sector 1. What's happened there? They're quickly away before I even got the chance to see what it was. But
yeah, I'm going to say
Lewis Racer
nothing
still
on my
leads.
screen. Hammer's just got past Mertz very easily. Very, very easily down into turn 13.
And we're going to have Jam Ham for the lead. Barlow around the outside of turn 3. Lewis Racer's defending the inside. Jam Ham's going to try and
It's
hod it
turn
around the
4
outside.
though,
Will
he's
he
on
have
the inside
for
turn
4?
4.
And Lewis Racer's going to try and hod it around the outside. He'll have the inside for
Wow,
5, but
grabbing
it's
a
Jam
penalty.
Ham that's going to make
Oh wow,
free from
both
the
very
crash.
wide. Both very
Oh,
wide,
and
but Jam has got it. But Lewis got a penalty while in all that though.
That was brave for the pair of them
That
there.
was
Like that's
very
like
brave.
that turn 3, 4, 5 is well, other than the third sector, is the really tight part of the circuit as well. And we've got a yellow flag out, and it's Paraquic's retiring at turn 12.
It is. He's gone. He's spam.
Once again.
On board with Jam, so we'll see his car in the wall. Yep, he's span it on turn 12. Done what Freeman did in Q3.
And the turn 12 claims another driver.
Yeah,
and
he's already
Jam Ham
claimed.
that claims the lead.
Yeah, Jam Ham's doing well. He's like say loads of ERS. Not as many. Oh, hello. He's in the pits.
And
Wow,
he's in the
okay.
pits. He's not
Right.
He's not gonna, that's confusing.
I'm a bit confused. He had 4 seconds advantage over Mitzi as well. But 2 laps. You know, they needed 2 laps.
It's not like he was losing any.
He didn't
serious
lose any time on
Mitzi.
Mitzi. So that puts Ryan Jones up onto the podium.
That is
With
raising
Zydrad,
so many eyebrows.
Ghost Cull, Ryan Jones, and Mitzi. Who's going to get the podiums? So it's all been mixed up. So there's not just a driver of the day vote, guys. Who is going to take second and who is going to take third? Because there's 4 drivers who can take them positions right now. Because there is a second and a half. There's a second and a half within 4 drivers. So we have got 1 race on our hands for the last 2 laps. This is, well, the last 2 laps, this is coming to a brilliant last 2 laps, all I can say. Okay, they have not changed one little bit. Beast Assassin with a great lap.
We've got Darnell running outside of Motion Hazard at turn 9. That was a
very
brilliant
brave place to do
there,
it. Motion Hazard keeping it round on turn 10 though. No, he can't get it down, it's turn 11.
Gives him the squeeze, and Motion Hazard's run a bit wide there, and Ham Jam's looking, he's breathing down the neck of the Mercedes trying to get that final point, but Jam Ham is about to start, or he has started his final lap of the race, and it's still a 4-way train for second place in this grid, for this podium. 2 will stand on it, 2 will miss out, but the question
and
is...
Zagar just got a penalty as well, so that isn't going to grab his hopes. If you want, I will keep an eye on Ham for you with Motion Hazard for the last point. If you want to take the people through the last lap with them 4, because that is where the race is at the moment.
Definitely.
So we can, guys, driver of the day, please.
Yep, I was literally about to say that myself, Paolo. Get your driver of the day votes in. We would very much love to hear what your thoughts were and who you think is worthy of the award. I'm trying to... I mean, we've got Ryan Jones, he's lost out, and Ghost Coat and Zydrad have both slipped past. Ryan Jones just got it wrong into turn 8, and Zydrad, Ryan Jones gone side by side, and Ryan Jones got to try and go around the outside of turn 12, and he makes the move, working. Zydrad was on the inside, defending the inside with everything that he had, and Ryan Jones was just like, I see that, but I'm going around the outside. That's what I am. But it doesn't put him back on the podium. But we'll jump on board with the Williams of Jam Ham, who does exit the final turn. The checkered flag will be being waved as we see the Williams Sa moving aside for his teammate, and it's Jam Ham that takes the checkered flag. And it's Midzi rounding off second place, and Ghost Colt that takes second place after Midzi, and it's Midzi just staying on the podium there with the skin of his teeth there. And with
Wow, so
penalties,
Ghost Colt takes second.
it's a brilliant result for Ghost Colt.
Really
We're
good
starting
result.
to see. And
Well, we
what's
haven't got
happening with Motion
Hammer's
Hazard?
not made it. Past Motion Hazard as he through the line. Wow, he goes up to 7th through the line. Wow, okay. So the penalties really worked for Ham on that one. He jumped from 11th up to 7th. Wow. So we've got a lot of driver of the day coming in. So we've got Owen. Yep, Owen saying a few drivers. just choose one, Owen. Just choose one. We had Lewis was going to be driver of the day because of obviously his drive was amazing. Until they decided to pit, which was a bit of a weird one. But then he's gone for B Dunk, could be driver of the day. Then he went for Darnell, could be driver of the day. So we've got Owen who and then we've also got Ghost. So there's Owen can't make his mind up. Ranga's gone Ghost, driver of the day.
Owen, it's driver, no drivers. Driver.
No, yeah, driver, not drivers. He was alright with there's Callum McKeon, Ghost, Liam's gone Coast. Check this out, it's gone Coast. Right, so it looks like the most vote I've got on there is a Ghost for driver of the day. Going up into second was absolutely brilliant.
And the game does say Mercs, so but I'm assuming that's for
20
to 8th, which is still a brilliant feat in himself. But we've got the podium celebrations concluding there, and it is Jamham who takes the first win of the new elite season. Ghost Colt and Midzi rounding out the podiums respectively. Ryan Jones with that mistake in the final lap cost himself a place, and I think penalties probably would have surpassed that as well. Zydrad kind of ended up being the leading Haas after such a dominant display in qualifying by Freeman after a mistake there, but Zydrad takes 5th place. B-Dunk 12 to 6 on the alternate strategy is a strong result there for the Racing Point. Ham Jam crossed the line in 11th but mounted his way up to 7th in penalties. Merckx crashing out in qualifying, ends up taking 8th on the day. Lewis Racer with a late pit stop, and Freeman, such a dominant qualifying display, ended up taking only a point from this race. Motion Hazard done there 11th and 12th. Evolt with a connection issue ended up 13th on the day. Beast Assassin, Sa and Bezos was the last of your runners, and your retirements were Paraquix, Crazed Bear, Rizeln and Crispy. And that was a race. Amico says, don't know, Jamham pretty flawless, particularly great, my driver of the day. I could probably jump on board with that as well. He did time his well.
Yeah,
he was
managing
his pace, managing his tyres. He was sensible and just sitting behind Lewis Racer in that second stint. I think and his ERS management was quite exceptional as well. Definitely should be a solid vouch there. But we will be hearing from Jamham in a few moments' time when we get him in to share his words on another exciting race here in Albert Park. Salty o'clock is an agreement for Miko. I could probably agree with that, to be fair, as well. And a nice P2 in quali. It was a brilliant qualifying lap, and it was just in a different level in qualifying. But Jamham was the closest rival, and that is quite a feat in itself as well. So I could definitely see the validity and give the driver of the day nod as well. Definitely do see in the chat, Ghost seems to be winning with a favourable majority. Jamham's a non-goal shout there as well, as Merckx from coming back from the back of the grid to 8th on the day. But we are going to get the Freedom in, so we can let me know when the Freedom are here. Hello.
Sorry, yep, 1 second, I'll let you know when they're all here. I think they are here, but...
Well, I'll just wait and see what happens between the now and then. We'll try and get them all in, and we'll get a few words for them. Just let us ken when you're here, Trips.
Have we got them all in? We have
we're all
them
here.
all in. Yes, we've got them all in.
Alright. Barlow, what I fire on?
Right, so, well, we've got the top three. Well done to Jam coming first, Ghost Colt coming second, and Mitsa in third. We're going to take it away with the race winner, Jam. Absolute brilliant drive, mate. Great qualifying to qualify second, and then to take the race win. Yeah, I was out there in the first race of the season, and to take the win, you must be feeling good.
Yeah, I'm really really happy about that. I've spent quite a lot of practice sort of focusing on my race pace and my strength for years now on the F1 games. So yeah, wasn't too disappointed starting P2 because I knew if I could just sort of stay with Freeman, who yeah put in a brilliant qualifying lap to be fair to him, if I could just stay with him, then I knew I'd have a good shout of at least a podium, which I was hoping for coming into the race. And then yeah, no penalties. I knew Lewis had a couple quite early on, so when I saw he was on the mediums, just let him through and tried to stick with him, which I was able to do. Got to sort of say commiserations to him because he drove a great race, and I think he got that drive through at the end, which dropped him down quite a few. And then just well done to Ghost Cotton Mitzi as well on the podiums.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Obviously, your brother didn't have as great as a race as you did today. Usually, it's you two up front battling. You ended up battling with the other Renault today, and it wasn't your brother; it was Lewis. Like I say, your brother, I think he finished seventh in the end. It was 11th, and then at the end up with the penalties, finished seventh. So in the points, which isn't too bad. But yeah, no, you fighted with another Renault today, so I bet that was a bit different.
Yeah, to be honest, I maybe didn't sort of. I'm trying to think of the words there. Didn't anticipate there being as much of a threat from Lewis as Harry, of course. But yeah, I mean, like I say, Lewis drove a great race, and he was really unlucky not to get a podium.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for that, and well done on your first position on the race win. Would you like to take
Cheers,
it
mate.
away with? No problem at all, mate. Would you like to take it away, Riggs, with P2 Ghost Cult?
No. Ghost Colt, mate. You looked really strong in the pre-season. You were arguably one of the drivers that I was saying to Barlow, one of the drivers to keep an eye on. You want to just kind of talk us through what happened out there as well. We did see you in the train for P3 for most of that race, which ended up being P2 after Lewis made that late pit stop. What was it like just being stuck in that DRS train? Like, you really didn't seem to be able to get a move on Ryan Jones until really late on in the race. So you want to just kind of talk us through that?
Yeah, it's not that fun being in the trains because, well, nothing's really gone on. You think you can get a run on them, but you realise that you don't have quite enough speed. You have to get really dodgy exit on the corner before the DRS if you want to try and pass them. So yeah, that was tricky then. But I found out they had penalties. At least Jones had penalties ahead, so I knew I just stuck behind him. Really, I didn't want to risk it. And Minzy, I think I probably just butchered that. Sorry. I didn't know if he had penalties or not, so yeah. But I was second in the end. Pretty happy with it.
It's a solid start to your season. So how would you going into Bahrain next week? So is it just a matter of just kind of how would you prepare for Bahrain in a week's time? Talk about that.
Just practice. That's it. I guess I'll do what I did. Yeah,
Practice makes
just
perfect.
worked pretty well. Yeah,
Well, start as you mean to go on, Ghost Colt, mate. Well done on the result.
thank you.
Well,
Right, Mitzi, P3. Well done, mate. I know, again, I think great race. You had a great qualifying, and it's the first race of the season. You stuck it up there. How did it feel?
Not too bad, I guess. Pretty lucky with the podium, considering what happened to Lewis. 'Cause I didn't expect him to take the mediums that long. But I knew I didn't have the race pace. So I'd done quite a bit of practice with Jamham throughout the week, and he was always quicker than me in the race. But I just wanted to get a good quaddie and go from there. But I didn't really nail Q3. I was doing a lot better in practice, but that's not where it counts. It counts in the actual thing. But Yeah, the race, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Quite inconsistent. Ryan had the pace over me, but I'm surprised he didn't go for a move, to be honest. And I know Ghost Colt doesn't really get many penalties. And yeah, just no, yeah, not bad. Not bad,
Yeah,
really,
well, obviously, I don't know if you noticed, but Ryan obviously lost it a little bit just behind you, and you was waiting for a move from Ryan. And then, like you say, Ghost doesn't really pick up too many penalties. But luckily, obviously, you stuck it in third, and you commanded the train all the way through, really, from, well, half the race, really, wasn't it? So,
yeah,
you know, you deserve to be up there with the race you had. It was a great drive.
yeah.
And in the Alpha, how does the Alpha feel? Because I'm sure you was in a different car last year.
I was in the Toro Rosso last season. Yeah, it's good. It's I didn't really like it at the start of the game, but yeah, it's grown on me. And I just want to say well done to Ghost and Jan Ham as well. They obviously drove a really good race.
Yeah, definitely. Well played, all of you. You, as predicted, you all give us a great race with obviously twists and turns in there for obviously other drivers. And I'd just like to say thank you to Riggs for jumping in last minute onto the commentating team. So yeah, it's been a great performance from the elite to finish off the weekend. It's been good. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
That's pretty much it. Just want to extend my congratulations to the three podium sitters, to Ghostin winning the chat's driver of the day, Merckx for the driver of the day, and we very much look forward to seeing you in a week's time for Bahrain. So I'd very much love to see you tuning in once again. And I'm just going to sign off with that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next stream.
Catch you soon. Good night.